But everyone knows what cloud computing is here. Yes, because I'm going to give you some examples just in case. You have something as simple as your Google Docs or Microsoft Office 365, where you can access your Google Docs and Microsoft Office 365 online, not the local one, through the internet. So this is actually cloud computing as well. You can be more productive because you can access your work from anywhere, whether it's in the office, whether it's work from home, or whether it's shifting between office and work from home. I think cloud services have not looked more important since the pandemic, really. You can share presentations, spreadsheets, you can share Excel sheets, you can share Word doc sheets, and you can all collaborate and make changes at the same time. So this is the power of cloud computing. With cloud services, we now have scalable software that can be accessed anytime and anywhere. Companies with offices globally are now able to share the same system, making data sharing efficient. Now, other forms of cloud computing and cloud services include simple things like even where your WhatsApp is stored and how you can get onto WhatsApp, whether it's on your phone or your computer, or even your calendar or email. The ability to look at your email from your phone or look at your calendar from your phone and from your laptop is made possible only with cloud services. Now, what is edge computing? Edge computing is where the computer happens right where the data is collected and not in the cloud. This is even faster. You need 5G here. For example, the 5G cellular network technology to allow for edge computing systems to work. It is required to have real-time applications on the spot getting pushed to the cloud. Now, I'm going to talk about something very important in edge computing a little bit later, but something that is interesting is, until this day, without edge computing, for example, you have production film people filming things on set, and they're still using physical film quite often because the tape is very large. And what happens is that all these tapes and this film, they get FedEx to wherever the production company is so that it gets rendered and AI gets put into it. But with edge computing, however, this could change. Now, soon enough, a large film, even for Hollywood, could potentially be filmed through edge computing instead of having literally film get posted somewhere else. Now, the last one is quantum computing, and it's fully, if it ever gets fully adopted, and we hope so, it will catapult our computing power exponentially. So if sometimes some of you feel that our computers are not running fast enough, don't worry, there are people working on it. Quantum computers perform calculations based on the probability of an object state before it is measured. It works faster than you think. Quantum computers will be able to provide services and solve problems that weren't possible with traditional computers. Now, great. Now, the impact of cloud computing. There are 6 impacts here that I'm going to address today. The first is on accessibility of data and applications everywhere. Now, what does this mean? One of cloud computing's best features is the fact that you can work from anywhere, as we mentioned earlier. When data and applications are stored in the cloud, they are accessible via any internet-enabled device. So I won't get into too much detail here since we've talked about this before, but definitely one thing is how this is really stepped up due to the coronavirus outbreak, where we couldn't go to work and we had to work from home. Now, isn't it great that a lot of our things are on the cloud? So whether you are on site at your desk or away from your office, you can access and update your project information, order supplies or request services, track time, input timesheets, pay your bills, and collaborate with colleagues. Extremely important, by the way. Now, improving communications and efficiency is the next impact. Your customers may have been content to communicate via phone or email a few decades ago, but today's clients want more hands-on ways to work with you. Now, even in engineering, we have many clients that we need to communicate with. Clients can be internal, clients can be external as well. So being able to have online dashboards, up to the minute reporting and unified communication systems enables us to serve our client from anywhere in the world. Internal communications and processes also benefit when you make the switch to a cloud-based solution. You can speak to your colleagues. All these things can be tracked. It doesn't have to only be on your mobile phone, or it doesn't have to be by your telephone. It can be through even chat rooms on the cloud that your computer systems can have at work. Seamless communication between team members and departments are extremely key, and cloud computing does make this all possible. Now, the next one is real-time reporting. Cloud solutions have the ability to offer you the next best thing. Real-time reporting through job management or accounting software takes the guesswork out of budget planning by giving you valuable insight to help you make more informed decisions to strategically drive your business growth. Now, budgets are very important in engineering, and this is something where you need your real-time reporting out there, because we find ourselves having to put together our man hours all the time. So with cloud computing, you can identify where you're making the most money. You can find out who your most profitable, what your most profitable solutions are and projects are. You can see the profitability across clients, and you can view estimated hours for a project against actual time. So you can manage all these efficiencies with cloud computing. And lastly, you can add custom fields to create your own reports. Now, software that scales a service to suit your business is extremely key, and cloud computing makes this possible. You do not want to be in a situation where you run out of storage space, but with cloud computing, you can constantly scale up. Cloud computing allows you to rapidly adapt your systems to support your current business circumstances. When you subscribe to various cloud services, you only need to sign up for the functions you require, and you can increase or decrease your usage as well. So if a particular business sector downscales, you can decrease your usage there too. It works both ways. And an example that I like to share on scalability of software with cloud computing is, there was an Auckland-based engineering firm called Steelcraft. They credit cloud computing job management software as being fundamental to supporting their company's growth. From what they say, it enabled them to grow as a business. They would never have been able to grow as rapidly without cloud computing. They grew from 6 staff to 80 staff within 2 years. So can you imagine if everything was still kept on your local drives and papers? This would not have been possible. And they were able to track everything they needed, such as reporting, invoices, inventory, which is very crucial engineering, all in their cloud computing system. Now, the fifth importance on the impact of cloud computing is being able to stay ahead of the game. The idea of updating or replacing long-standing systems can seem really daunting. And we have been through that ourselves in one of our sister companies, Empire Co-Education. We had a lot of reports on paper. But staying ahead of the game is key. And ever since we moved from paper to cloud computing, we have been able to scale the number of customers that we have, or other students, within the education center. Now, in engineering, of course, you can scale your clients very quickly too. So instead of having your clients on paper or on Excel, having the ability of cloud computing allows you to increase from 1 client to 1,000 clients within a very short span of time. Now, this technology is moving at rapid speed. At the moment, there's a lot of cloud computing software that can help you make sure you stay ahead of the game. And you don't always feel like you've got to invest a lot of money in cloud computing. There are many ways to get your head around all these finances. And there are even cloud computing project people that can help you do that. They can help you calculate the costs and the efficiencies of moving from a non-cloud computing platform to one. Cloud solutions give you access to the infrastructure equivalent of a large corporate company on a small business budget, leaving you much better position for growth. Lastly, and very important, is cloud computing enables a strengthened data security network for your organization. Now, every company wants to be sure that their data and business critical information are securely stored on the cloud. Now, this is crucial, especially with client information or in engineering, our IPs, intellectual property. They have to be kept very tightly with us. Now, cloud security benefits include industrial strength physical security to protect against fire or other disasters, redundant backup systems to guard against data loss, professionally designed disaster recovery processes, and end-to-end encryption to protect data moving to and from the cloud. With cloud computing, we can have in place as well 24/7 monitoring for security threats. So this can all be done through your cloud computing software. Now let's get started with cloud computing. If you would like to learn more than what we've showcased today, would be business considerations for edge computing offered by the Linux Foundation on EDX, cloud computing concepts offered by the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign on Coursera, getting started with cloud computing level 1 offered by Aidan Gabrielli on Udemy, the quantum internet and quantum computers. How will they change the world offered by Delft University of Technology on EDX, and understanding edge computing in a cloud computing world offered by LinkedIn Learning. LinkedIn Learning is also one of my favorites these days. You can also get badges and certifications through LinkedIn Learning, often for free as well. So please do get that. On research papers, I recommend an overview on edge computing research by the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, IEEE again, Cloud Computing for Engineering Applications by ResearchGate, one of my favorites, as I mentioned earlier, How to Get Started in Quantum Computing, if you're interested in that, by Nature, Software Engineering for the Cloud, a Research Roadmap by IEEE as well, and What is Edge Computing and Why Does It Matter, by Network World.